Hey, Lindy, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Scotty?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Investment property we're talking about today. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think, right now in Australia probably would be the best time ever to using investment on property and buying the property as the best way for wealth creation.
Yeah, and you mean just in general, or you mean specifically because of the market conditions right now?
Well, I think it's the in general and as well as the market condition.
Hmm.
Especially, if we looking back, because I am actually a first generation of migrants, and I
Okay.
come to Australia with empty hand, like it literally have just one luggage, and yet looking back, we say Australians property doing quite well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how long have you been here now for, Lindy?
Well, I arrived in Australia the first time as a visitor. That's 1997.
Okay.
And then I settled. I migrated to Australia in year 2002. So
Okay.
now it's 20,
Yeah, 23
3
years.
years. Yes,
Yep.
in the making.
Yeah, that's good. And have you got your own home? Have you got investment property now?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay.
I always, looking at, I read a couple of the books, which is Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
Oh, yes.
That's a really good book. I highly recommend. And then I also played the game, the cash flow game.
Oh, the cash flow quadrant, is it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
That's a great game. And also I read, Steve McKnight's that book.
Oh, so with his first one, was it 0 to 130 properties? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I read
Okay.
that one, and then I read it probably 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
and that really resonated with me. And so I used the same strategy and start to develop my own investment like a principle or
Okay.
strategy.
So after you settled here in 2002, how long was it before you bought your first property? And was it an investment or was it your own home?
Well, my first one would be in Fuji Valley. I bought an
Okay.
apartment, and that time was all I can afford. And then was my own home, right?
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And because I just really need somewhere to stay. And I think then, like I mentioned, during the time I get to know many other people, and I then read those books, and then I start to go to different seminar and learn from others.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 7, I think 2007. Yeah, I bought I rented out the Fuji Valley, and then I moved to East Brisbane, and I
Okay.
bought one there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you bought an apartment somewhere after 2002. Like, was it that year or was it next year
No,
in the valley?
2000, I think it was 2005 or
Oh,
6.
2005. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then you bought your next one in 2007. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay. And was that another apartment or was that a house?
House.
How? Okay. Okay. And that time there, so that was the time coming into GFC. So the market would have moved. So from the time that you bought your first apartment in the valley, had it gone up in price before you moved out to East Brisbane?
Not at that time, no. What happens was because I also run a business called China Direct Sourcing.
Yeah.
We helping business importing products from China. And then the businesses start to really growing. And when I was in Fuji Valley, I was literally running my business from my dining room and then from my balcony. And
Right.
then when it rains, and I have to take the table back. So my staff would then, all work with me in my dining table, right?
Right.
And so, and also I have like a roommate. I also have a roommate. So, it was very challenging.
Yeah.
But like everyone, have a humble and start beginning. So therefore, for me, I see that as an opportunity. And with business growing, I need more staff, I need more space, and that's why I decided to buy like somewhere closer, and then have more rooms, and also have like the space for the office.
Sure.
So
Yep.
that's how, I bought a house, and upstairs have more rooms, downstairs have my like a very spacious place for my office.
Yep.
So at the peak time, I have 10 staff working
Right.
underneath my house, and I even cook the lunch for them. I cook a noodle every day for my staff. Yes. So because I at that time I still have the Chinese company's habit, right? And some of my Western staff, and they don't want the noodle anymore. They would go to McDonald's. I say that's fine, go ahead.
No
And
more noodles, hey? Yeah.
yeah. My mom and dad came with me and stayed, and they usually even cook for my staff. Yeah,
Right.
that is at the early stage. And when I shared that, many people like wowed, like say, wow, well, because in most of the Chinese company I used to work for when I was in China, they always provide the lunch.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a good idea. I don't think we don't provide lunch every day, but every now and then we get to have some food together, which is always, it's great. And there's a lot of things that happen over that time in business as well. Like walls come down, you get to chat, or there's some ideas flow. It's a good time. So when you moved from the Valley to East Brisbane, so you kept the Valley apartment and rented that out. What was your next thing? Did you buy more investment property then? Did you move to another house? What happened next?
Well, no, actually, I stayed in my house, and then literally at that time also I felt it is a good way to buy more apartment or buy more houses. It's just a combination. Like
Sure.
I never stop like investing, but look at it, you have to think about affordability, also the cash flow, and also the growth. There are quite a few ways. Also, I bought another one in Norman Park.
Hmm.
It's at that time it's a boarding house, and
Ah,
so I rented out. And then I was able to have like 5 individual tenants, and
yes.
each individual tenants paying me like a separate rent. And but then collecting the rent became very challenging, like by myself, because I ran a business at the time. I also I think at that time, yeah, I had my first baby.
Oh, well, that's always going to throw it a bunch of stress into the mix, isn't it? And on your time. Just
Yeah.
on the Norman Park one, was that already registered as a boarding house? So it had five.
Yes.
So it was set up to already do five. You didn't convert it or
No.
anything like that. No,
No,
okay, all
yeah.
right.
It was already a boarding house at the time, and it
Yeah,
had many rooms. So I took it over, I managed it, but then it became too hard. And
yeah,
so then I even had a manager to manage it. But in the end, it became too challenging. Like, there are people who are late paying for the rent, and they have like, they're fighting between each
yep.
other, and someone taking drugs. And, those things that can be very headache, right?
Well,
So,
you make a good point there, because there's a lot of strategies out there that involve sort of rooming houses or share accommodation and what have you, and converting houses and all that. But What they fail to mention is exactly those things that you just talked about, which is collecting the rent, infighting between the tenants, damage, anything else that you can think of as being a landlord with one tenant. You multiply it by however many tenants are in there, right? Whether it's 3, 5, 7, whatever, and you've got those in one property. So it is a big handful. Did you sell it and make any money out of that, or what was your exit?
Yeah. So let's talk about the exit strategy. So then, my Fortune Valley apartment at the time I rented out, but then it was all okay, right? And it's a very good apartment. It had a good income. I was renting around $500 a week at that time, right?
Yeah.
You talk about the 2000 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
$500 or $580 a week. At that time, the rent is
Pretty
very
good.
good. But
Yeah.
then, you come across a very bad tenant, and they came from Ireland. They don't pay the rent, and they squat, and then you try to kick them out. And yeah, it became really challenging. So all of those compounding at the same
Yes.
time. And then one of my friend who is a real estate agent approached me, says, well, do you want to sell it? I said, okay, let's sell it.
So that was the apartment that you sold the apartment.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in 2009, yeah, I sold my apartment
Yeah.
because it was just too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it gets like that, right? I mean, this is all the stuff that people don't talk about in the, online on TikTok and Instagram, what have you, is all the real life of owning the asset takes a lot of energy and headspace. And so you sold it. Did you make money on that one?
Oh, yes. And I
Yep.
think I'm quite lucky. So for that one, yeah, I bought probably less than 300K. I sold
Mm-hmm.
for around 500K.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, because it was my principal residence. And so therefore, I don't have to pay any extra, like for the
Sure.
capital gain tax.
Yep.
And then come to the Norman Park. You see, the Norman Park, the tenant start to give me a lot of headache.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting rent is challenging. And then the tenant start to, especially sometimes we have like the tenant from Mexico or from Ireland. My God, they love drinking, and they love loud music, and they love friends. And then, especially if it's a young girl or it's a young boy, and on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you got like neighbors' complaints, you got sometimes police arriving. So then, all of those things just can compound
Yeah.
and give me too much headache. So
Yeah.
I decided to renovate, right? So because at that time it was actually a really good suburb, and
So what year did you sell that one then?
you mean Norman Park?
Yeah.
Oh, Norman Park, I renovated first,
Oh, you
and
renovated.
yeah, I
Okay.
converted to four bedder, a
Just a
very,
normal house.
yeah, I converted it.
Ah, so
Yeah,
you back converted. See, most people go, that's interesting. That's very
yeah,
interesting. So you converted. Okay.
yeah. Because at that time, boarding house is not very popular. And in the Norman Park, that suburb, it is a family suburb.
Yeah.
It's a very prestigious suburb. And for a house to sell good price, you need to meet the local demand.
Sure. So instead of making it all just, it looked like a boarding house with a rooming house accommodation, you made it look more like an inviting house, which then was more applicable to what was the demand in the suburb for that higher
Correct.
price. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
even have the view. We have the
Right.
view, and then I open up two small room, make a bigger room. I add ensuite, and I extended the upstairs, the decking area, made it very entertaining. I removed all the front grass and made a beautiful a stone garden, and the back is flat and just beautiful for the kids can play. So yeah, after I built I spent a fair bit of money at that time. At that time, I spent probably over 200K
Right.
renovated.
And that was in which year was that roughly?
I think that was the year 2012 or 13.
So 200K reno. Yep. And have you still got that property now, or did you end up selling
I
it?
sold it.
Okay. So you sold it after the reno? It was all looking fresh, or did you? Okay.
I sold it after reno. No one lived there, and
Okay.
brand new. So I sold it, and I even I bought all the construction material from China at that time.
Well, you knew a company that could source things from China, so that was pretty helpful, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Normally, when you if your budget like $200,000 material in Australia, when you import from China, usually can save you 40% or more. And for a builder, we usually can double their margin for any single given project. So for that, I did that myself. With importing some of the material and also the furniture, and then all nice display and architects and all of that. Yeah.
So what was the figures on that one? What'd you pay for it, plus the 200,000 reno, and what'd you sell it for?
I paid 680K.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
so plus 200.
Yeah, I probably spent the 200.
Yeah.
And I sold 1.05. 1.05.
All right. Yep. So 6, 7, 900. Yeah. Okay.
And
so another couple $100,000.
Yeah, I just went to see the market. I went to the market. I went to see on the real estate that day, and now it was sold again like 2.5.
We don't want to hear those stories. They're the stories we've all got. Those ones. So they're sold recently.
Okay.
2.
Yeah, that's okay. I got my share. I'm content. You can't have all the money like in the world anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. And so after that, where to from there?
Well, after that, literally, sometimes I must say I have the Midas touch. Or I probably was quite daring to do what other people don't or afraid of doing.
Sure.
I remember there is one day I come across a newspaper, and at that time newspapers are still popular, and then on the news there is a big advertisement that says they called what do they call? They called some kind of healthman auction. So it's like a silent auction. Like, there is no sound. You go and attend auction all with a pen. So anyhow, I saw that big ad, and it was says a mortgage sale, bank auction, and then they 46 apartment in Ipswich will be auctioned in one day. And so I have no idea. But I just think this news is very interesting. It's very, very new. I want to give it a try. I want to give it a go. So I went to that Ipswich golf course, and that was where auction is. And I arrived probably half an hour earlier. I talked to some of those people, because I have no idea about the location, about the property. I didn't see that even myself. And so I asked some of you, I said, do you know this property? And one of the person said, yes. And I said, what do you know? He said, I bought one apartment before the developer went broke. I said, how much you pay for it? 320,000. So at least I get the price guy. Then I said, all right, if it is you, what type would you choose? And so he mentioned about like one bedder or studio. He said that would
Yeah.
be the good choice. I said, why is that? They said, oh, you get a better rent return. So,
Okay.
yeah, based on that, and then the auction start. I went in. There are 46 apartments. Oh, they just each have a number plate, right? On the
Yeah.
number plate, there is a pen, and also there is a piece of paper. You go write down which one you want and how much you want to pay. The starting price is $50,000. Yes.
So
So
can everyone see what the number is on the piece of paper, or is it?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You
So
can see
it
it.
starts at 50, and you can go say 60, and then I can look at it and go, well, I'll pay 70. Is that
Correct,
how it goes?
correct,
Yeah. Okay.
correct.
Right. Yep.
And then there are 46 apartments in the whole thing. So I went to the one I wanted, put my name there, 50K, right? And then the others, and then put in some others, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, I'm the highest bidder
At at how much? At 50,000.
for two. But of course, they wouldn't sell that, right? So the auction was not successful. Then the agent called me, says that Lindy, you are the highest bidder. Congratulations. However, it's not reaching the reserve.
Of course. Right. Oh well. There's always a catch. And what year was that? That was after Norman Park, was it? So like 2013, 14 or something?
I think it was 13 or 14 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and it was right after the GFC.
Yeah, okay.
And it was right after the people's everyone was really worried, right? And many developers and builders go bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So everyone is really scared. And then the bank mortgage those 46 apartments. They want to get their money back.
Sure.
So,
and so you ended up, so did you end up with both, and what did you pay?
all right, yeah. So the agent called me and asked, and so then we start to negotiate. And they said, Lindy, can you pay more? It's not even reaching the reserve, and yada yada yada. So anyhow, the more the information they give me, and I start to understand and establish the the price. So in the end, and I paid one for 170K. Another one for 195K.
Right.
But during the process, and then I got to know the hotel is actually renting them back for $300 a week, and then another one for $340 a week. So I calculated if I was only paying 20% deposit, and the rest I borrow from the bank. And then at that time, the interest rate is only 3 or 4%, right? The rent would be just enough to cover the
loan? Yep.
Yes. And so it's a buy and forget.
Okay. Yep. And so you just did the two then?
Yeah, I did it too. And then now the rent is probably more than one I get the rent like around $500. Another one I get the rent say 420 and 408 420 440 on each side.
You put about 40,000 deposit on each of them, roughly, just under. Borrowed the rest, and now they're renting it 420 to 480.
No, so one is one bedder. That's 500.
That's 500. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
500.
Another one is studio, like two studio.
After two studios.
Like a hotel. It's you go in one side, studio A, studio B. So they rented out each side.
They rented each side for 420 odd.
Yeah, 420 and 440.
Okay. Right. Okay. So just so I'm clear on this, we have $1,360 a week currently.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, even if it was interest only, you're still only going to have a debt of 160 odd or 150 on each property. Okay. All right. You should have bought all 46 or 43, whoever's in there.
No, how do you have that much deposit? You see?
Yeah, I know.
And also, not everyone is there to do that. They get
Yeah.
very scared. People get really, really scared. Also, that was the auction. No one actually ever see that before.
Right. Yeah. Well, I remember a few of those happening. That was right. That wasn't a common thing at all. And that style of auction I hadn't heard of, but there was definitely mortgagee in possession auctions. We ran some for some liquidators back in the time where we would make sure that the agents were on their toes and manage the agents and stuff. But yeah, there was a bit of that action going on in that point. There was a lot of fear at that stage. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is one thing I learned is to you can only make the money, your knowledge matters. And also willing to give it a go, give it a try, and have your own principle. So at that time, because I learned from that book, like, from 0 to 130. So I set the goal for myself and to continue doing that. And then, I find the opportunity everywhere. And so, I think I remember that in year 2010 or 11, I come across the what do you call that? Like a sort of like a holiday housing.
Okay.
In Sunshine Coast. You see, no, oh yes, in Sunshine Coast. It's more like you pay the land lease.
Yes.
You don't own the land.
Yeah, leasehold. Yep.
Yeah, leasehold, right.
Yep.
Yeah, then every quarter, you pay around 500 something.
Yes.
And so, but the cabin, they call the cabin at that time was I paid for, it's less than $100,000, the cabin. But
Okay.
you get the rent for like say $300 or $400 a week.
And could you borrow for that, or did you have to pay that in cash?
Yeah, that's the catch. You can't, at that time, bank don't lend you the money.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
so then that's why people selling very cheap. So I come across that and I just thought, if I use that and I borrow the money against the others and I use, like I refinance from other things and to pay for this, then it will still be cash flow positive.
Yeah.
So
it's close to what is the 15% gross return, even with some expenses. It's still 10 plus 10 odd percent.
That's right. So, but at that time, when I was trying to buy, everyone was saying to me, "Oh, Lindy, you don't even own the land, and there is no growth on those things." So I said, "Well, right, I don't mind if there is no growth. That's okay. I only need a small amount of money, and later on, I put in a business." And in the business, generating the cash flow, I can, use the business to borrow the money. Yeah. And so that's what I did. So I bought another 2 in the Maroochydore. Yeah, it's called the Maroochydore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you still got them, or what did they end up renting for eventually?
Well, I think I bought one for 80,000. Okay. And then I sold for 160.
Well, it sounds like there's growth there, if you ask me. And did the rents increase?
Oh yeah, of course. Now the rent probably 480 or maybe 500 a week.
Wow. Yeah. That's a huge rent off such a low cash input, isn't it? I mean,
I know, and that's why I calculated, because everyone was saying, and especially I considered, and I just used the superannuation to buy it, because the superannuation, and you have some money, but you have a very limited way to use your money. So I set up my self-management super funds, and then I can invest. And when I left that money for others to manage for me, I get a negative growth.
You- You're not the only person I've spoken to who says those exact words. So anyway, that's the topic for another day. Self-managed super funds. I really like them, but you've gone. Okay, so do you still have those properties in this self-managed fund?
Yes.
Yep.
I,
Okay.
I
Yep.
sold one. I still have one.
Okay. Still got one in there, and
Yeah.
it's that 480, 500 a week rent. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Uh, and so then outside of super, then after your units at Ipswich, did you do anything else?
Yeah, I then my company continue grow, and so I start to have many more builders, developers. We're helping them to buy construction material from China, and my team member also start to grow, and it's not a good like presentation to have an office in the downstairs of my house anymore.
Sure.
So I start to looking for office.
Hmm. Okay. And you
And
bought that was bought in the city, was it, or outside the city ring?
oh no, yeah, this is my office actually.
Yeah.
In West End.
In West End. Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So I have an idea of how my office should look like. I wanted to be like, one area have a very open space and one area have the team members. And because
And you need that massive area for the kitchen too, Lindy, because you've got to cook the food, right? There's food for everybody.
no, I stopped the cooking for the team.
Oh no, that's it. I was going to come and work for you. There's no more food. I wanted noodles.
Well, yes, I used to buy so many. Anyhow, and then there is one day I went out for auction, and this was the time probably 10 or 15 days after, the massive flood in Brisbane.
Oh, so was that 2011?
Yeah, 2011, 2012. There is
Okay.
the flood finished, right? And then I went to auction. And so it's in West End. West End was flooded at that time. And so
Yes.
therefore, when I showed up in auction, and these are 5 units for sale at the same time.
And this is residential. Or this is office.
Office, commercial.
Office. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So in the auction. And then there are 5 units for sale. And then there are only 3 bidder. And it's
Yeah.
5 units. So when I bid mine, I was the only bidder. So unit 1, David bought it. Unit 2, I bid for it. And unit 3, it's another guy got it. And unit 4, and then he called his brother, and his brother bought unit 5. So
Right.
there is one empty, but anyhow, I asked my accountant, I told him, I said, I think you should buy it. It's a good one. And he didn't. Now he regret.
Yeah, that's right. So, were they going cheap because they'd flooded, or was it just cheap because there was no one attending because of the floods?
Well, I was looking for office for a fair bit of time at that time. In the city is about $4,000 or $5,000 per square meter. And I was thinking of buying one, but I haven't come across good opportunity. Then when come to the West End, it was a deceased property auction, and
Right.
then the guy who owns it, he passed away, and his son and daughter are all doctors and pilots, like high net worth people, and they don't want to manage it. They just want the money
Just want
and
it gone.
depart.
Yep.
So it's for sale. And so therefore, and all those units are actually empty, other than one unit had a tenant. So like the whole 6 is all his.
Right. Okay. And how much cheaper than in the city did you get that for per square meter?
Well, the starting, we paid around 500K. It's 200 square meter.
It's 200 square meters. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we would have thought, and at least it would be starting from 600, like $3,000 per square meter or above. But in actual fact, we only paid probably less than
Yes, it's about
2,500.
2.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So anyhow, and everyone was very happy. All the unit owner, we get to know each other. And then as the time I was going to move in, and on Friday afternoon, so I collect the key. I come to check it out, and I saw every one of my neighbor, the
Yeah.
other unit, are doing something, are very busy. So I asked them. I said, "What are you guys doing?" They said, "Oh, we extend the mezzanine floor, and so therefore we will make it like one unit upstairs, one unit downstairs, and we
Right.
will rent it out downstairs. We will take upstairs as our own office." And I'm thinking, my gosh, I can do the same. So I did. So I stopped the moving. I canceled the moving. I went back. I canceled the moving. And then I go find a builder, and then did the plan, did the application, and extend my office.
Okay, so you built the mezzanine, right?
Yeah. And so I rented the downstairs out, and I have the upstairs as my office.
Well, and what did you rent the downstairs for? Because that's going to be a fairly good cash position to be in, I'd
Yeah.
imagine.
Downstairs is $4,000 a month.
Yeah, right.
And I pay myself, like my company pays my super $4,000, $3,000 a month as the rent.
And you put this one in the super fund as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was going to ask that. So that was very, very wise on that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And just to be clear, the property itself wasn't underwater in the floods?
No, this property was free of floods.
Yeah, right.
And
So it was just because it was a flood time that no one was bidding on property.
correct.
And so okay.
Yeah,
Yep, very good.
in the most challenging time, there are so many gold opportunity out there. You just
Yeah.
need to keep looking and willing to take effort to be there.
And what's something? So this is 2012. How much did you do after that time? What have you done the past 10 years or so?
Well, yeah, I just continue the journey. I sold I renovated my own house.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought the material. I bought all the bathroom, the kitchen, and then the tile. Then to renovate my house, and I sold my house.
Okay. And bought another, or are you just living in your office?
No. I live now. I moved to another new house. Has the
Excellent.
waterfront view. Yeah,
Water, not flood, right? Not flood.
no flood,
Yeah.
no flood, no flood. Yeah. So of course, and this, I helped many of my clients who buy from China, and then you get the developer's margin, you got the builder's margin, you got the importer's margin. So I do that to myself as well.
Yeah.
So then in a way, company like running China direct sourcing is like generating cash flow. And then also I have a tech startup, which is a freeze-and technology. Later on will convert everything I do onto the digital platform. So that's my strategy for the cash flow. But then for the investment part, I do see is what I call use the money to generating the money, and have the money working for me instead of I working for the money.
That's very most interesting. And what was your most recent investment? Have you bought anything in the past couple of years?
Yes.
Okay.
Non-stop.
Doesn't stop. So give us the most recent one, because people are wanting to hear, because I know I can already hear the comments Oh, that's great, Lindy, back in 2007 and back in 2010. But, it's so much different now. It's so much this or that. Give us your most recent one. What year was it and what did you do?
Well, in 2023,
Yep.
I bought like 3 pieces of land, and it's a development land, like it's 3 houses and
Okay.
in a green slope. So it's over 2,400 square meter.
Yep.
Yeah. And so anyhow, at the time, and I bought, yeah, I just used the bank and as the good leverage. And then I rented out right now, and but then now someone offered $5 or $6 million for it.
Okay, so you bought 3 blocks side by side,
Yes.
was it? Okay, and it was already on 3 titles?
Yes.
And was it one transaction or did you have to go and approach each person individually?
One transaction.
Okay, so one transaction, 3 blocks. I'm drawing it so I can get it right in my head. Okay. And they each had houses on and you just rented the houses out.
Yes.
And now you're looking to sell to a developer.
Yes.
Okay. So would you mind, how much did the 3 cost originally?
They cost me around 4.
About 4?
Yeah.
4 mil. And you're getting offers now of 5 to 6?
Yes.
Okay. 5 to 6. Okay. So let's just say it's 5 and there's other costs. Let's say 5 and a bit. We're at 2 years. It's 2025, but in about 2 years, it's $1 million. Yep. Yep. And did you do anything to the houses other than rent them out? Did you renovate them or anything? No, because developers going to buy that and knock the houses down, right? That's what they're doing. And they'll put apartments there or something? What are they?
Yeah. It probably would be good. You can probably build 20 apartments
Yeah,
or
okay.
maybe 20 townhouses.
Is it near the hospital or something, or where's
Yeah.
the?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
800
Okay.
meter away.
Okay, well that's a live one. That's a yeah, okay. Your entry point was high, but the principle's the same, right? I mean, buying here, either seeing the opportunity when you're buying and then realizing it later, or buying and doing something with it to increase the cash flow. So where to from here, Lindy?
Well, basically, I think my own strength is importing from China. And I would continue the same strategy. I probably will more go into the development side. And, I have many clients. I saw how they grow their wealth and buy the property and build it and then sell it. So you have a builder's margin, developer's margin, importer's margin. Like one of my clients, she bought a property in Gold Coast for 625,000, and they went to China with me, bought the whole material, and then sold it for $2.28 million. Yeah.
Okay, there's either a lot of material there or a lot of uplift. So how much did they spend on materials and labour?
Probably the material would spend $200K. I think
Yeah.
they are build and the landscaping, everything probably cost them around, I would say 800.
Yeah.
So then they can easily made, I would say 500,000 in that property. And because they went China with me and bought everything, so therefore, I have the full photo. It's really beautiful. So I think that's probably the pathway I'm going to take. And I have already done my step 1, step 2 through small investing, and now I more look at for the opportunity to be able to buy something with the land and do a subdivision, build it, and import from China, and then sell it and make the profit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very good. What a great strategy. What a great story. And legit coming here in, let's have a look at my notes, 2002 with nothing, right? Just your suitcase, she said.
Yes.
Yeah. Did your
Yeah.
suitcase was it full with gold, Lindy, or was it?
No, at that time when I actually starting the business, I can't even afford a laptop. And I end up have to be very resourceful. I go to public library and then register myself. You know, when you go to public library, you
Uh,
can use the email for 15 minutes.
yes.
So I register myself for 4 different computer. So I can use for an hour, like 15 minutes in a go, and one, two,
Yeah.
three, four. And then I go to the internet cafe, right? And then to pay $2 for an hour, I can then, do like writing the email and then doing the like surfing. And then I pay $3 per coffee, and then to spend the time with my clients, and then buy them a coffee, and then have a meeting. And I print out the proposal like 20 cents per page, 3 page, one proposal, 60 cents. Then I give them my meeting
Uh,
proposal.
that's
So
gold.
yeah, less than $10. I run the whole day meeting and
Yeah.
I have coffee. And that's literally how I started. I don't have an office. I don't have a like laptop. I don't have even a printer. And I run business that way.
Oh, it's most inspiring, Lindy. That's just brilliant. And look, let's leave it on this. If someone was starting out now in property or in business, give us your top tips. What would you suggest they did?
Well, I think the first one is to really identify what would be your own interest. Okay, making money, there are many different ways. And you can only make the money when your knowledge matches. So the first step, I would say, invest in yourself, in your brain, right?
Very
To
good.
learn from others. Even like listening, Scotty, your program would be a good starting point.
Yep.
And I would assume, Scotty, you would interview 10, 50, 20, 30, 50 people like me. So if your audience can listen all of them and pick which one resonated with them, that would
Yeah.
be the starting point one, right? Number two is identify the right strategy works for them. So the road to the pathway, or the road to the top wealth, there are many different roads, but you have to choose that pathway right lead to you, right? What the one suitable for you. So this one take the effort. Everyone have a different situation, and so therefore find that one works for you. I think take some effort. The third one would be stick with your strategy and the principle. So once you identified it, don't deviate it. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I first buying the first house, it took me nearly viewing 60 houses to buy one, because I have no idea how that look like. So I go inspect. Every single Saturday when my friends going, at that time I was single, right? At the time, and all my friends go Saturday, like surfing, have fun, dancing, dating. And I was going inspection house every Saturday, inspection. So after 6 inspection, then I was able to buy one, because I learned how,
That's
is
right.
it good
Yep.
price?
You got
Is
to know
good.
when the one appears, and then you jump on it. Otherwise, you're just guessing. Yep.
Correct. So therefore, really spend the time and the learning. And then after the first one, the second one probably take me 30 viewing to make a
Yes.
decision.
Yeah, that's right.
And then nowadays, I don't even need viewing. I just read the number, and then I punch 10 minutes, I can make decision buy or not to buy.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
So
you got the skills there now.
That's right. So you became the master of certain area.
Yeah.
And when you became the master chef, then everything is to you, it's so simple. It takes 3 seconds. But before you take that 30 seconds, you'd take many, many in practice. So
Yes.
for the starter, that probably would be 3 tips I like to share.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good.
Another thing is also definitely looking at China. China is a good way to utilize, because the importing from China for the construction material definitely is a must. I would highly recommend anyone want to building, want to developing, and look at the option. And
Yes.
the buying from China right now is probably the best opportunity ever.
No, that's really good. Lindy, Your story is inspiring and enjoyable. I've had a great pleasure talking to you. Thanks for joining me today on the show. It's been brilliant.
Thank you for the opportunity, Scotty. And it's a great fun. What I want to see is we are in here in the world is not just living for ourselves, but also living a legacy. And so I came here to Australia with MPT 100 as the first generation. And I want to share my story as inspiration, as a way to empower other women, empower other migrants, empower my future, like my kids in future, to see no matter what the situation, there is a way we can utilize. There is a way we can grow ourselves.
That's brilliant. Yep, inspiring it is. Thank you very much, Lindy.
Thank you very much, Scotty.